This video tutorial covers the Business GIS project that you'll be working with throughout the course of the semester in Marketing 485, Business GIS and Marketing. So here we are on the syllabus, and let's move over to the schedule page. And what we're talking about now are the activities on the right-hand column of the schedule page, which cover the various projects that you'll be working with. And notice that they're all in the GIS tutorial for marketing textbook. You begin with a couple of introductory exercises on the Silver and Stones chapters that aren't really formally graded, but they do get you used to the procedures of using GIS tools in business analysis. And then starting in chapter 3, you have a series of assignments that you do have to turn in. You end up with 3 chapter summaries or 3 project summaries and 1 chapter report. Everyone in the class will work on chapter 3, the outdoor living tutorial. So let's go over that one. And the way this works is you work with a chapter in the textbook. You can begin by watching a short video overview, an introduction to that chapter, to give you some idea of what you're going to be doing. But then you'll work with 2 different kinds of documents. The first is the chapter itself, and this is what that looks like. Now this is a Word version of this document. You'll be working with the one that's in the textbook, and notice as you get an overview to the project, and this is covered in your reading assignment that you've done in an early video. You have a description of the data set to show you what data is included with the project, and then you have a series of tasks. In each of these tasks you load ArcMap software and then start to work with some of the maps that are made available to you and the features and the tools that are available to you in the GIS system. You perform a series of tasks with some screenshots as guidance, and then at the end of each task you are given a series of questions to answer. So you've completed task 1. You'll actually save your map file as a result of having done this. And you have a question that you answer. In this case, task 1 is what you observe about the geographic distribution of family households, family size, and income in Florida's counties. This is the first step toward implementing a segmentation strategy in the state of Florida for a particular marketing task or project strategy that you have been assigned in the chapter. So notice that question summarizes what you've learned and what you've covered in that particular task. You then load a second document, which is the report template for the project, and this is what that looks like. You have one of these in the appropriate ArcGIS folder on your system that's been installed when you installed the software and the data CD from the book. And notice that each one of these, each of the major headings, repeats the question from their relevant task. So in the first case, this question, what do you observe about the geographic distribution of population, family size, income, and target market membership in Florida's counties, is exactly the same question that you had in task 1 in the textbook. So you answer that question here. You then go back to task 2, load the appropriate map file, perform the appropriate steps, look at the results, assess the characteristics that you need to evaluate, and you complete that task. You then have additional questions that you answer, which you format your answers to those, you formulate those, and you answer them in this section of the summary template. So as you go through each task, you have a set of questions that you answer, but also as part of that process, you create maps that you add to the summary report. So as you go through each of the chapters, you develop the content within the summary report. And so as you complete each task and fulfill the requirements of each task, you gradually develop the summary report, and by the time you have finished with a chapter, the summary report is ready to turn in. You have it available to you now as a Word document with all your answers attached to it, and all the additional maps that you need ready to go. So now you simply save that document as a DOC file, and then within the Blackboard system, move to the assignment portion of the course, and here we are in Summary 1. This is your Chapter 3 summary report. View and complete that summary, and now instead of pasting a URL in here like you did earlier, you attach a local file. So you browse to your local file, select the one that contains your summary report, and attach it here. You then hit submit, and that gets sent in as Summary 1. Now notice as you move through the semester, all of us do the report for Chapter 3. But when we move into Chapter 4 and 5, the report that you do depends on, and the chapter you do depends on the team you're on. So once again, you move to the Blackboard system, and in communication and group pages, the team that's underlined is the team that you're a member of. So for example, if you're a Cardinal, you have to turn in summaries for the Community Farm Alliance project, and also the PMD Global project. Whereas if you're a Dove, you're going to be working on Myers Home Furnishings and World Treasures. And those are the ones that you'll have due over the course of the semester. So in total, you'll have 3 summary reports that'll due over the course of the semester. Now for the last 2 chapters, Chapters 8 and Chapter 9, you're still perform one or the other of those chapters based on your team membership. But what changes here a little bit is the format of the report. Now, in the early summaries, we've learned a lot about how to apply Business GIS tools to marketing issues and marketing questions. And now what we're going to do is learn to present our results in a little bit more formal fashion. This is the way we might do a managerial report within an organization, or if we were filling a consultant role, this is the type of approach that we might take toward making a report to our client. So you begin by doing exactly the same task and exactly the same summaries that you have before. However, now when it's time to complete your report, you use a much more lengthy format. It's only about 4 to 6 pages, but it's a little bit longer than the summary report, and you get an idea about how we would report the results of this analysis to someone who had not been through it every step of the way with us, and to whom we were explaining not only the results of our study, but the process of GIS analysis and how you use it to get information that's important for making marketing decisions. So you complete a second format of the report, this one in a longer, more extended report format, about 4 to 6 pages in length. And then just as you submitted those Word documents as summaries, you do the same thing here in the report assignment. Simply click that, browse here, and attach this as your local file. Attach your report file to that. Now that document can include maps that you've added to the Word document or anything else. It includes all the exhibits. So through this procedure, you will have submitted a summary report on Chapter 3, which all of us do, a summary report on either Chapter 4 or 5, another summary report on either Chapter 6 or 7, and finally a full report on Chapter 8 or 9. And that will complete your project reporting tasks for this class. And that's the conclusion of this video lesson.